Good morning, friends. Why your sexual appetite is considerably in higher amount in comparison to your partner? Today we are going to talk about the line of influence. Friends, this is the mount of Venus. This is the lifeline. So on the mount of Venus, inside the lifeline, some lines are there which runs parallel to the lifeline like this, and some lines runs across the lifeline. Some touching the lifeline, some are not touching the lifeline. Friends, the lines which runs inside the lifeline parallel to the lifeline are properly called as the line of influence. And these lines indicate the persons who have strong influence on the person who has these lines. That influence can be either for good or bad, or they generally represent members of their own family or their close friends. If the later case, the close friends are there and not the blood relationship is present, they are those persons or personalities which are growing together into the life of any person and have become a part of it. In all cases, these lines have very strong influence on the personality of any person. That's why these are called line of influence. Friends, in some hands, many lines indicates the greater the number of persons who have exerted strong influence on the personality of any individual. And the less number of lines, the person is more self-contained and he has very few close friends. And even with the blood relationship has not influenced much. And the reason why these lines are seen on the hands is that the influence that have made strong impression on the personality of any person, on the mind of any person. That's why the mental impression are printed on the hands. That's why it is called the palmistry, the science of the thoughts. The vertical lines like these and the horizontal lines like this, they form the grill on the mount of Venus. And this indicates that Venusian qualities are increased in the person, particularly the sexual appetite of any person. And every line on the grill represents the influence of any person on the personality of the person who is having these lines. Every line of the grill which represents an influence has affected the life of any person, and the number and more the number of these lines on the mount of Venus will have positive currents excite the personality of any person, and consequently the fire inside begins. And the absence of these lines on the mount of Venus shows an absence of electrifying currents. And this mount without the influence lines expands its energy where? In love, beauty, gaiety, color, art, dress, nature, instead of sexual desires. So friends, this is for all today. We'll meet on the next episode of These Lines. Bye bye, have a great day.